Hi guys.
Hello people.
I'm Milena.
I'm Lola.
And we're watching Sopranos. We're giving it another chance. One more episode, guys.
People were very concerned about
You
us.
promised that we are over the worst part. We're giving it another chance with this episode. Please do not fucking traumatize us. You know?
I think actually people are very concerned that we're gonna stop. I have no intention of stopping. It's just it's very
well.
it's dark.
I honestly, if the whole season would be like those two episodes, I feel like I would stop. I would.
Really?
Yes.
This whole season.
Yeah. I do not enjoy
torture.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like 1 episode, 2 episodes, 3 episodes, 5 is sure, but like the whole season, like if it would continue being just dark,
yeah,
it would be too much for me. I feel like just violence, just.
I mean, people were not necessarily in accordance whether whether this was the worst part. Like someone says, like it just continues going dark. But like again, that's just.
What are you talking?
I read that comment.
I didn't. I read all the comments that the worst part is over. Those two episodes are the worst.
Space that said it.
I didn't.
Maybe
I read few comments that the worst episode. That those 4 and 6 episodes are worst.
Yeah, I mean, I do think I just think the show progressively gets darker. I just think those episodes were the darkest. I think maybe what they meant is it gets darker in the terms of we're deep into it and they're bad people, and so as you delve more into it, it's just darker and darker, like how Breaking Bad was darker and darker.
Yes,
you know?
Yes, but somehow Breaking Bad was easier to watch than this.
I guess we'll find out altogether.
I don't understand. I don't know if you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
We just did the last episode.
Look, I don't think that we're gonna have...
very fucking hard to watch. Watching a pregnant woman being beaten to death by a fucking psychopath.
Yes, but I don't think anything can compare. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's gonna beat up another woman that's pregnant nor have a rape scene. You know, so I don't think we're gonna get bad for what the two of us would.
That's what I mean.
Yes, I don't think we're gonna. I think we're
because darker for Tony's character or this or that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, I still, in my opinion, think that The Wire as a show was generally much darker than this. In my opinion, it's just that they didn't have scenes, brutal scenes like this. I don't know if you want. Remember season 4? That was
it was the worst season of my life.
And the best season of my life at the same time. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, no, I literally, again, I don't think we have watched a show that I think about as often as I think about The Wire. Even the shows that I put above Wire, I don't think about them as much as I think about The Wire. Literally, my day-to-day life, I'm gonna think about The Wire. I'm gonna flash back to something. I what a piece of fucking television.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the more time goes by that we finished it, I keep thinking back on how good the show was.
I think so as well.
But I think we often mention about The Wire how they cut off from the violent scenes of people beating people up or whatever. You cut that part and you're just left kind of with the system, you know, which is technically more terrifying than anything else that you can watch. So I don't know how we started. So what was my point in this?
No, my point was that I do believe it was darker, but I did enjoy every single episode that we watched, you know? And let's say the last episode of this show, I did not enjoy it. Yeah. I personally did not enjoy it. I was traumatized. I saw
a comment that was someone's like, how does Janice get voted most hated character when Richie exists? Ralphie.
Janice, which Janice? Oh, yeah.
A Meadow, Richie exists.
Literally.
Nothing. There is nothing that she can do. She can try to kill her own fucking brother. Yeah. She kind of tried. Kind of. It is nothing's gonna be worse than fucking Ralph. Ralphie, whatever the fuck his name is. He is right now and forever gonna be my most hated character in this. I'm not gonna be able to look at him. But I am interested to see what the aftermath of this is gonna be. What they do, if they do anything. I don't expect anything to get done in terms of
No, honestly,
justice, but
I still the only thing that I do kind of maybe potentially expect, but it doesn't have to happen, is to see if something with Tony is gonna if this is gonna influence him in any way.
Yeah.
Or not. Well, those are the things, let's say I'm interested to see what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah. Let's play. Because I was gonna start talking more about the previous episode.
We talked about it.
Yes, but I don't think we should put ourselves in the mindset of the previous episode. It was just very fucking dark.
Let's play this episode.
But again, a great soundtrack for the episode. I cannot stop listening to the song. In what an episode I found out a song, but like it's a very good song. A second opinion.
Oh, maybe because the guy has cancer, Junior. So
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
he's
you're right. Oh god, I forgot about Junior's cancer with everything happening.
Yeah, I feel like Tony would want him to
definitely
have a second opinion. Now I think the guy who came from New York is gonna be an even bigger problem. It's gonna be like the season's problem if we just introduced him and didn't continue with the story. You know what I
mean? Yeah, but like then it has to. I mean, it can start in this season. Then like it's gonna be the. I can understand why that would be like the focal point of till the end of the show. Like he seems like a big deal.
Oh.
Is he actually having a surgery or is it like a dream?
I think that he's having a surgery because he said that like they need to open him up to see how big it is. Oh my god.
You in here, you're Hector me.
Your nephew Tony cooperate fully, I'll take him down.
What do I get?
Guaranteed cure.
No more cancer?
Dream.
Yeah, definitely dream.
Oh, Angie. You only have yourself to blame for that.
Is it clean and low or not?
Yes, it's clean.
Miles, you close. Let's do it quickly. I got his BP back up, but I don't know how long it'll hold.
It's clean. That sounds good.
Dear uncle, he's a very strong man, Mr. Soprano. He did very well. The news is all good.
Beautiful. So the cancer is
gone? You bet. It took a tumor the size of a fist out of his stomach. Oh. So,
just want to say thanks. You know, Uncle thinks the world of you. And if there's ever anything I can do, a favor, anything, let me know.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Soprano.
Kid, you wearing a what? You fucking crazy? That's what? Let him down.
New York, we opened the books, but they also laid it down.
Probationary period.
When I was coming up, this would never happen to new-made guys.
Oh yeah, they talked about
Many
this.
people are doing a simulcast.
Well, maybe you fuck.
It's like everyone would like get insulted. This is asked of them, I guess, but I feel like it's worse for him because like this is his family, you know.
Oh, you're gonna be on that school bus to DC tomorrow. You're all packed and paid for, and you're gonna pay attention. You're gonna learn something for a change.
We're going to FBI headquarters.
So? Alright, I gotta go. Problems at work.
Sunday dinner, Tony.
I know. I gotta go.
I even think this them not being at dinner or whatever is just an indication of the family falling apart.
Or yelling.
We've been seeing his therapist together.
What?
Literally what?
What's the problem? That sounds like great news.
What?
He's no Angela Stanford, that's all.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know Angela was dying to marry you. And now, Stanford is a chain of drugstores.
So what? He doesn't need therapy? He prescribes his own tranquilizers?
Don't be so sensitive.
Or maybe you forgot Dad's little strip mall on Route 17 was zoned residential until Tony made a phone call.
Bullshit.
Oh, really, Dad? The contract you got to do with Sparta High for the hurricane repairs, what, all the other builders were too busy to bid?
Oh, please, my heart, please. What? The waters don't park for you wherever you go?
I earn it. You two get a free pass.
This reminds me of the
Dead.
friend that he can pussy.
Yeah. He's swimming with the fishes, yeah.
$4 a pound.
I pay you a fucking salary!
Oh god, we had this with him in episode 1.
Carmela.
Are you having one-on-one sessions first without Tony?
I just wanted to make sure it was okay if I came alone. I mean, because Tony couldn't make it. Look, it's not like this when me and Tony are here together. You never give him the silent treatment.
Is that what you think? I'm giving you the silent treatment?
Still, half the time he doesn't even talk to me. You've seen him get like that the day he sat here like a wall. I know that he is your
Silent
patient,
treatment.
and I'm only the patient's wife, but you try living with that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. See how you feel.
I see.
Oh, you do?
He was distressed about this young man's death in the garbage compactor.
See? He didn't say garbage compactor, did he?
What is it you believe?
You know about his job. He reports to a strip club. Who knows how he spends his days?
I'm gonna kill Tony for making her cry. I love her so much.
Really?
I can't even explain it.
I think coming to therapy with him has stirred up a lot of feelings in you that you would like to address with somebody.
Oh, please.
But as you've pointed out, your husband is my patient.
Sure.
I am not the one who needs mental help.
You do, my
I
girl.
just needed to vent.
What do you think this is?
In case you change your mind,
Please.
here's a number of a colleague in Livingston.
That really won't be necessary, but thank you anyway.
Take it.
Thank you for your time.
It's possible, though. There may be some malignant cells we didn't get. See, when we operate, we have to decide how much healthy tissue to cut around the tumor. We took a small sampling of the tumor from the frozen section. When we got back the complete results, it showed nodal involvement.
Don't blame yourself, Doc.
Any questions?
When can he eat regular food again?
I guess 2 weeks. Let's fill out the surgical consent form signed. That's one less thing you have to deal with in the hospital.
You tell me to take a crap on the deck of the Queen Mary, an hour later they're hosing it down with disinfectant. I owe you everything, Doc.
How do I know what nodal involvement means?
That is a good question. I didn't know what that meant.
The whole issue of U.S. News on seniors and health. Bring somebody with you to the doctors. It's somebody to ask questions. You ask one dumb fucking question about my diet.
Don't be rude to him. That was a fine question. I wouldn't have known either.
Let's call Meadow.
I want you to call.
Let's schedule the
and with that, I think you can finally make a step of getting a divorce.
Actually,
and
yes.
I would cry.
Oh, who's his wife?
Oh.
Yes.
I wonder how she's doing. Like, is she feeling free?
Great.
Yeah.
3 penny counts these days. 24 years, he disappears one day, and I get left with a sick dog. The vet says I should put it down, but...
Does she think that Tony had something to do with his disappearance?
Around it was nothing too good for that dog.
Yeah. But where am I going to come up with $1,200? I mean, Tony helps out, and I am so grateful. Like, it covers the basics, but anything extra, there's no way, Carmela.
Jeez, Ange, I'm sorry. It must be so tough.
Anybody around here love the word Jimmy Choo Shoes?
No way.
Like in 2 big garbage bags.
Oh my gosh.
She's
They're all yours, baby. And they're
She's
from
very
next season.
cute.
You can't even buy them yet.
And it's all her size.
What size are these?
10.
10?
She's not a
That's
10.
Sasquatch size, Christopher. I'm an 8.5. I just can't believe the stuff we get. It's so great.
Except for that spot
Trust me,
called
it's
gold.
not.
These are blood shoes. You know?
Really?
Like these are everything is blood here.
Like what writer wanted
blood
to do, show us
apartment,
who this...
blood shoes, blood everything.
No, like what writer wanted to do, show us who they really are. Like he really succeeded for me.
Like you cannot take
look
that back at all.
Look at any of them, literally.
Don't bust my chops, Carmela. I got a lot on my mind.
And she doesn't.
I love this episode because like we are seeing so much of Carmela.
Literally.
It's fucking delicious.
I'm having lunch with our daughter's dean tomorrow. I gather you won't be joining me.
Told you, all he wants is our money.
Fine.
We already shell out 40 grand a year to those people.
It's well spent. She's really learning. She's out on her own. And if she passes us by...
If. She did that when she was 14.
Isn't that what you want for your kids?
I wouldn't be backwards and ignorant and sit around with their thumb up their ass. And I'm gonna make sure of that by not going to lunch with some asshole who's trying to shake me down.
Fine, Tony, don't go.
We'll take it up with pussy. You can find a fat fuck, wherever the feds put him. He left Angie Holt in the bag, which is not right.
Into the program?
Yeah, that's right. He ratted us out, calling me and you. And that's where he is. And I don't want to
She
hear about
doesn't
it
believe
ever
him for a
again.
second.
Or his ungrateful cunt wife.
His what wife?
Who was your oldest?
Easy. Chucky Pericchio's mother.
Shut up.
Who was your most famous? And Bobby DiTilio doesn't count. He's only famous in New Jersey.
I gave him head. I was there with Georgette. He followed me into the ladies' room. And he asked me.
I was gonna say, he is not the type of person you say this to. His ego is too fucking fragile.
For fuck's sake, Paulie, it's 2 in the morning. I know. It's an outrage.
Oh, they're checking.
Hey, Adriana, you in there?
Yeah?
The Berezovsky brothers jacked the shipment from Milano, Pier 87. These are for aid.
That's good. My Broadway's a size 10. Patsy, pack up some of these shoes. Prissy, you don't mind if I take my taste now?
I mean, technically it can't fit you.
I don't know. Now I have to go into my pocket for them. Motherfucker.
What?
Meadow, for love of God, open the door and hug your mother. Like...
I cannot.
How do I protect her?
I cannot.
I'm so positive that she's gonna leave. And that is the only thing keeping me sane.
I really hope
that
so.
I believe that she's gonna leave him.
I really hope so.
My girl, I have the full fucking faith in you.
How's the drama queen doing anyway?
Fine. Can we not talk about this, please?
I'm trying very hard here, Med. If you want me to leave, I will leave. I have an hour before my lunch with Dean Ross.
You're going to lunch with the dean?
Can we not talk about this now, please?
Mom!
Yeah, his secretary called last week and invited me. The real reason I stopped by to see you, though, was to make sure you're recovered from this Noah thing. I'm worried it'll affect your grades.
You call losing a wonderful man because of Dad a thing?
Now, is that really what happened?
No, it's not a wonderful man. Don't you worry, girl.
That business with your father.
Look, don't drag me into whatever bullshit, accommodational pretense you got worked out with Daddy.
What was that, last night's reading assignment? Let's hear it. What's your big theory about me and Daddy?
No way. I'm not touching that.
Half of me wanted to hear it, other half of me didn't want, like, to pile up on everything Carmela has, but, like...
What does he make?
I don't know, it looks disgusting. It's just straight up.
Fucking bitch. What's going on with you and Ralphie Cifaretto about like talking this bad blood?
Well, you don't
What's
got enough in
happening
your
there?
plate? I mean, in your blender? What about your own problems? More surgery? Don't you think you should talk to somebody else? You'll get a second opinion.
Chemo?
But, like, did the doctor lie?
With Kennedy, it's cut.
Because, like, we heard
Over
him
and out. He
say,
has the hands of an angel.
like, is it
Don't forget
clean?
his name.
And they said it is clean. I just don't know if there's, like, additional testing done.
All the mix name their kids that after the guy got killed.
But, like, the doctor is very busy. I don't know if he's mixing things up, if he's doing this on purpose. For
Cannot imagine
favors.
him honestly doing this on purpose.
Think on this, Burger Boy. Anthony is a cunt hair away from owning all of Northern Jersey. And I am that cunt hair. So maybe he has something else on his mind besides my full, complete, speedy recovery.
Junior, all this cynicism.
I mean, he is
This
paranoid.
can't be good for you.
I went to Montclair State.
That's cool. What's your major?
Business administration.
Tomato Soprano, a valuable addition to the Columbia community.
Really?
Absolutely. I don't know her personally, but I've talked to her professors. They say she's attentive, inquiring, does all her work, and makes insightful contributions to class discussion.
I am so glad to hear you say that. And here I was worried about her adjusting.
Let's not tell her, though. We don't want her overconfident.
It seems like she sleeps an awful lot.
They all do.
Excuse me. Is this...
Tony, what the hell?
Any kind of problem you got, financial or otherwise, you come directly to me. Please, leave Carmela the fuck out of it, like that.
Of course.
Then I saw the Cadillac. The money I give you, you're driving a Cadillac and you're looking for more? Shut the whole plan.
You're really working on your anger issues.
But think twice before you do. Think about that fat fuck husband of yours and what he did to you. Him. Not me.
Coco, please. Coco, down.
Hey.
It's always him, not me.
I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry. Just push her away.
No, she's all right. It's around $5 grand. I'm gonna do your household account so you can write him a check. And that's it. Not a penny more.
A 5 FU base regimen with cisplatin and doxorubicin. This is the treatment I would recommend.
Are you getting this?
Sort of.
No, what is he saying?
So the chemotherapy would be instead of the surgery.
But I can't guarantee even that.
I could end up having the chemo, puking my guts out, having the 6 hairs I have left fall out, and still have to be cut again.
I'm afraid that's a possibility.
You see, with Kennedy, you don't get these maybes, possibilities.
Dr. Krakauer? Hi, yes. Thanks for calling me back. I was referred by a Dr. Jennifer Melfi.
Okay, I was about to say something literally.
Yes, I would. Anytime it's good for you. That's great. That's fine.
I adore her.
No, it's her, a brick fucking wall. And then whoever else.
What was that? It says with pulp.
You like it with pulp.
He's a child.
Much. I like the one that says some pulp.
He's a fucking child.
Girly.
The fuck was that for?
I'll write you up a list. Oh, honey, I miss you so much. Yeah. You know, I figured out that this is the longest we have ever been away from each other. Did you miss me?
Sure. That was pretty good. They had PlayStation 2 right in the hotel room.
And? That was the sum total of your trip to your nation's capital?
Guess.
Trips don't go any different way in high school.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
I'm sorry. I give up. What then?
All the money you give to Angie Bump and Sarah, and who knows what other widows you've got on your payroll.
It's a business expense.
But there's not enough to make sure your own daughter is protected.
I won't pay.
You snipped that girl's panties. He told you that? Fucking baby.
Gotta apologize.
Hey, I'm not apologizing.
You out of line. He's gonna marry the girl, for Christ's sakes.
As of the wedding day, anything that touches a pussy is off limits.
God, they're all so disgusting.
Sounds like you're going at it pretty good in there.
Am I paying a source of entertainment to you?
You see me laughing?
It's going up day and night since I started the chemo.
All right. I gave you cancer.
You don't know what this is like, Anthony. I can't do it. I can't get him on the phone. The nurses won't put me through to him.
Why not?
They leave messages.
He didn't call you back?
Well, who knows if they even tell him? Last night, the machine says if it's an emergency, press 6. So I pressed 6. Still no call back. 24 hours later. He must be very busy.
You got his number?
You're not even married yet. You're dipping into whores already.
Didn't cost me a quarter. I don't pay for it.
I'm here to tell you one thing. You ever go whining to the big man again about shit between you and me, we'll have a problem, my friend.
God.
Fuck is that? My godson got it for me. They were all over the fucking place.
I would call this foreshadowing, potentially.
To the club.
He's probably gonna be swimming with the fishes as well at some point.
But he said you gotta bring one in the club. Did he say that?
Watch and learn.
Did he say that? Oh.
What are you doing?
Hey, Doc. Me, Tony. For you. Titanium. I use one. And at 10 yards to my
He's like, I'm
drive.
gonna beat you up with this if you don't.
For everything you've done for my uncle.
Take the phone call.
Anyway, what am I gonna do with it? I already got one, and Mr. Williams here, he don't play. Right?
Stupid a fucking game.
You know, my uncle, he's not doing so well. He's got a bad reaction to that chemo.
That happens all the time. There's nothing that I can really do. You know? There are worse things that can happen to a person than cancer.
Uncle thinks he's gonna die. He's convinced of it. Now, you know how old people are with their superstitions. He thinks it's because he went against you.
He was a surgeon, that's all. You gotta be on your act.
Show that man the respect he deserves.
Cheryl, make sure Mr. Soprano is scheduled for...
Just remember it.
Everybody's marriage has problems.
She's seen another woman?
Yeah, you can make that plural. Yes, he sees other women.
Why don't you all use the word divorce?
I said I was considering divorce. Us Catholics, we place a great deal of stock in the sanctity of the family.
He broke sanctity a long
I'm
time
not sure
ago.
that your people...
I've been married for 31 years.
Well, then you know how difficult it can be. He's a good man. He's a good father.
You tell me he's a depressed criminal, prone to anger, serially unfaithful. Is that your definition of a good man?
I thought psychiatrists weren't supposed to be judgmental.
Many patients want to be excused for their current predicament because of events that occurred in their childhood. That's what psychiatry has become in America.
He betrays me every week with these whores.
Probably the least of his misdeeds. You can leave now, or you can stay and hear what I have to say.
You're going to charge the same anyway.
I won't take your money.
That's a new one.
You must trust your initial impulse and consider leaving him. You'll never be able to feel good about yourself. You'll never be able to quell the feelings of guilt and shame that you talked about. As long as you're his accomplice.
You're wrong about the accomplice part, though.
You sure?
All I do is make sure he's got clean clothes in his closet and dinner on his table.
So enabler would be a more accurate job description for you than accomplice. My apologies.
God, the therapist.
So, do you think I need to define my boundaries more clearly? Leave him.
Take only the children, what's left of them, and go.
My priest said I should try and work with him, help him to be a better man.
How's that going? Have you ever read Crime and Punishment? Dostoevsky? It's not an easy read. It's about guilt and redemption. And I think for your husband to turn himself in, read this book, and reflect on his crimes every day for 7 years in his cell, then he might be redeemed.
I have to get a lawyer, find an apartment, arrange for child support.
You're not listening. I'm not charging you because I won't take blood money. You can't either. One thing you can never say that you haven't been told.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Jesus Christ.
You're right, I see.
God.
You're fucking poisoning me. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
You taking good care of this young man?
Jesus, Dr. Kennedy.
How you doing, guy?
Is this shit gonna work? Or should we go back in the room?
You got a top guy here.
Him?
Guy, I'd go see if I needed to.
You're a son of a bitch.
The important thing is you stay strong and keep fighting, all right?
Like Uncle Junior, every episode becomes more endearing to me. He feels like an uncle. What is happening even right now? Is
Carmela didn't do anything. Oh.
Come.
What? Everybody else in this family sleeps all day after I try it.
You, depressed?
You're in the division of labor around here, that's your job.
You know, if you want to go to therapy on your own or something, I notice you've been a little tense lately.
That's Rich. He's suggesting I go to a shrink. That Dean called today.
Well, that can't be good.
I told him to put us down for the $50,000.
Carmela, I gave you 5.
Tony, you gotta do something nice for me today. This is what I want. You gotta do this.
Why don't go to 10? That should be enough for those born inside Heights gangsters.
I already told him 50.
Can't say nobody told you.
50 G's.
Yes.
You look like you could use a night off from cooking. We say we go out.
She looks like Tony in his role.
What?
She's walking like Tony in his role.
One last time from Freddy's joint.
Why do I want to sit a bit and cry? He is risen. He isn't Jesus Christ. What does this mean? I'm sorry, the title of the next episode, He is risen.
I mean, I don't think maybe Jesus Christ.
It's Thanksgiving. I don't know.
I
mean, we'll find out.
Thanksgiving.
I cannot. He is risen. Maybe Junior.
But like technically it can mean whatever. You know what I mean? True. It can be Jesus Christ if there is something in that episode that's connected to religion, Christianity.
I really enjoyed this episode. It had a lot of Carmela, and so like immediately that's a very big plus for me.
No, honestly, I loved this episode.
Yeah,
like somebody would say it was calmer. I mean, I would say it was calmer.
Thank God.
Yeah,
calm down. I think
honestly,
like,
this episode.
Too much.
This episode was to me. This is the perfect episode.
Like what you love about Sopranos.
What I love about Sopranos. I really loved everything about Carmela in this episode.
Me too.
But like it was very sad. I do sympathize with her very much.
We are seeing her go through, in a way, rock bottom with her relationship with Tony, because like she is mentioning divorce, and like we know how much she cannot think in that direction, because like, I mean, she says that, you know, they're Christians and her faith doesn't allow it. And like, I mean, that is, you know, that is true. But also like she is not going through with it because like it is a scary step to take into the unknown. Like the psychologist told her, like when she was speaking to a psychologist about leaving him and everything, and she was like, she would have to get a lawyer. And then like, what about the money? Like, how is she gonna take care of the kids? They live a certain life of luxury, you know, that is gonna be taken away from her and the kids as well. It's a scary place for her.
It is. I don't even know how to explain that, but I do believe it's a fucking terrifying thing, even for anyone to go through, let alone somebody who has been living a specific type of life.
Yeah.
Probably her whole life.
Yeah.
Who has seen that similar probably type of life in her own family before he has married Tony. I am really wondering, like that is the thing that like I would really like to see in this show is how Tony would react.
I don't think you would expect it at all.
I don't think he would expect it at all because I mean first I don't think it has happened for somebody in mafia in their group of people for their wife to divorce them.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it has happened. I don't think it's an option.
Yeah.
I don't think those wives, no matter how horrible lives they're leading, I don't think in their mind that's an option. With Carmela, she has finished college. She could have had different life.
Yeah.
She could have found job, and she still can maybe find a job, you know?
Yeah.
And lead a completely different life than the one that she's used to.
Yeah.
Right now. But I still think it's a terrifying position that she is in.
Yeah, I mean, like you have to, how do I say this? You have to undo everything that you have done. And like she is deep into this. The psychologist was very right in saying that she is an accomplice and an enabler. Like her hands are not clean in this. She is also very, I love my girl to death. I think she's a great character. She is also like, she's not a, let's say, morally good person. Like she can talk about religion and like what her faith entails and everything, but like she's being hypocritical in every step. You know, like you know what your husband is doing. You know that like the food you eat is blood money. You know, and so like
I think she was shocked with when
I think she was shocked as well.
The psychiatrist said something.
I was shocked as well.
Even though, but like you and me were not leading that lives, and I think literally in this episode, while we talked with Adriana and like the shoes and things, this is blood and this is blood and this is blood, shoes, blood, this blood, you know, because everything came from that, you know. I don't think she thinks about that.
I don't know if she doesn't think about that. I mean, I think if she, I feel like if she didn't think about it,
I think if she,
I'm not sure what that says about you. Like, I mean, the therapist told her, like, you will never be able to not feel guilt. So, like, I think she is, how do I say this? Being a good and a bad person it's a fucking spectrum of things, you know, like, and I think, like, she's what I would consider a good person. And I would not consider a good person a person that would not necessarily think about the harm that they are causing by living this life. Like, I don't know, like if my significant other was in his everyday life earning money by harming people, that would eat me alive. And I would not consider myself necessarily a decent fucking human.
But like then
for standing next to that.
Isn't she a even worse person if she?
I mean, I do think that is like an argument that I always think about. Like, is it worse to know what you're doing is bad and still do it, or is it worse to not even know what you're doing is bad to not even think about it? She's not a dumb person. Like, she's very smart. Like, she knows the influence that they have. Like, she in a way chooses, I guess, to close her eyes. You know, I guess it's the way that she has been taught. It is the way that she functions.
I would say that means she's not thinking about it. Like, that is the thing that like I meant when I said she's not thinking. Because if it's
for me to comprehend, because
if it's eating her alive, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
How are you surviving?
I mean, barely.
She's been married for 20-something years.
I know.
You can't say barely for 20-something years. She gets her present and she closes her eyes.
I think she has like a personal responsibility that she is not. The psychologist called her out, and he had every right to call her out.
Yeah.
Like, she is complicit in all of this.
And how did she answer?
She answered by asking Tony for $50,000 for the school. Like, knowing what the psychologist...
How did she ask? What did she answer?
Nothing. She didn't say anything. She didn't say... Like, if I remember correctly, there was nothing that she necessarily said there.
When he said you're an accomplice.
She was like... She said something like, I'm not doing it with him or whatever. I'm just like, I'm there to... You know, I'm in the house, helping, whatever, in case you're an enabler.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, call it what you want. You're still, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you are still earning everything that you have, everything that you own, the clothes that you wear, the car that you drive, the food that you put in your fucking mouth is brought in by blood money. Now, there's a larger thing that we can talk about because, like, the society that we live in, the clothes that I wear is not ethically made, I'm sure, you know? And so, like, there's a larger thing that I'm sure that we can discuss as well, but like for her, it's more direct. You know, the person next to you is the one that is harming people directly. You can call that an enabler. You can call that an accomplice. I think like it depends on like how people want to view things. It doesn't matter to me like what we necessarily call it, considering like I think she is complicit, and like there's no ways around that, you know, and like. She can go to church. She can like donate as much money as she possibly can. She can like help people around her. It doesn't diminish the fact that like she's still complicit in this. And all these things that she does can maybe ease her consciousness, but like it's not real. The only thing that she does is ease her consciousness. I mean, I'm not even sure what my point is here, but like...
just because like whatever I said, I didn't say anything that disagreed with that.
No,
like,
you didn't.
It didn't have any correlations with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't like, well, when we say like, is she not aware, or like, do you think she is aware, and like is just trying to ease her consciousness by doing some things else, or like do you think that she doesn't think about it at all?
I believe that this is the life that she has been brought into, and like I think her. I don't think me and her would ever be in the same situation.
No, I agree.
I think what we found Chris is her cousin. You know, like I think her whole family from the start, we don't know much about her family. We don't see how involved and what any of them are doing.
I don't think they're that involved because like her parents directly
don't seem at all.
No, don't seem involved at all, and like they're talking about how like she could have married this guy.
But in my opinion, they don't seem shocked. Again, they are married for 20 years. You know. I don't know. That's the thing that like we don't know much about her, but like we did talk about in previous season, like when we mentioned that Chris is that she is his cousin or something like that.
Yeah.
That technically her family. That's a part that I don't know.
The thing is, I don't even remember that they mentioned for Chris. Like, we know that his dad died, but like, did anyone ever say that he was in the mafia business? You know, so like he doesn't necessarily have to have her family didn't necessarily have to be that involved at all, because like if Chris is like, then Chris's introduction to basically mob life is like Tony Soprano in a way, you know.
Okay, then because that changes my mind.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because like
I mean,
that's
don't know.
That's just like Tony. He lived this whole life, and of course he's gonna go down this path. But then technically, did she know when she married him who he is? Then she chose it fucking willingly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I understand what you wanna say, and like, I don't think we have enough information about like her upbringing to know like what is the norm for him. Like, she did choose him. Like, they got married very young. Like, but it could have been a case of her just like deeply falling in love with him when she was like
it could have been
young, and like that is it. Like, when you're younger, your idea of morality and everything can be like it's not developed, and so like you grew up with Tony in a way, and so like that completely changes your point of view, you know. And so like it can be just that. I don't think we have enough information. I don't know if that's ever gonna be like said, or maybe like it was said and we just forgot. I don't know, someone's gonna tell us if that is the case.
Just because like we always talked about how she comes from the similar family, not the ones maybe they're not doing the same things that like Tony is doing, but they are not
like, for example, I think Adriana comes from a more mob family, because like her uncle was rich, you know, so like she is, let's say, more deeply into this. And like for Carmela, like we don't have this information. And again, I mean, all of these things nothing would still justify it. It would just like give more of an explanation,
which is which is enough for me.
Yeah.
Again, like we talked during all these previous episodes, how it would make complete sense if Meadow would end up with Jackie's son.
Yeah.
You know, or things like that. How those things could make complete sense, because that is something that she grew up in, and that she knows. It could also go in completely different direction than that she does not want to come near or close to that. But like so far what we've seen from Meadow and the way that she is behaving, I would say we're definitely going down that road.
Yeah.
Where she's marrying somebody like Jackie's son, you know, who is also in the business. With Carmela, I think everything that like I loved everything the therapist said. It was interesting because again we are not used to therapists judging their patients, but technically she's not his patient.
I mean, no, he didn't take money.
He didn't want to take her as a patient. He listened out. She told him everything. He listened out, and he gave her the best possible advice that like he could have given her, you know.
No, it was like literally a slap in the face.
But like I would say it was a slap in the face for her. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just think that like I don't think when she sees a present she thinks about where did it come from.
But like, does it make it worse?
And
also like she is a smart person. Like, she is an emotionally intelligent person. Like, there is like somehow my mind cannot wrap around the fact that like she can look at all that they have and not be aware.
No, I think he's completely aware.
I know that she knows, but like to not think about it, you know. I think again, the way that I view her, she's very emotionally intelligent. Like, she is very perceptive about people. Like, she can know why people are doing what they're doing based on like their emotions and everything. I think she was always very perceptive with Tony and everything. And so like for a person like that to like not think about it,
I would say she closes her eyes. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, like she is going through.
I think she is now
struggling.
Yes, but even that is because of the selfish reasons. She's struggling because she's suffering in this relationship with Tony.
Yeah. I agree with
that. Not because Tony is a horrible fucking
and I think
person.
I think that is a very interesting thing about her character, because again, I do think she is a decent person, and this is like then me like speaking about a spectrum of things, you know, like what is a good person, what is a bad person, because like if she can, like what we see her and like how she is, you know, like she is, you could say that she is decent, but like then when you look at like the broader things of like what she enables and what she allows in her life and in her children's life, then like how can you say that she is good and decent? And again, like that is, people are complicated, and I think she's such a great character to like be that complicated. And so like I don't know how to I think it's very interesting about like, because like I completely agree with you that I think that right now, because why she is suffering is personal.
Yeah.
You know, like I completely agree with that. And like it's not like it's suddenly hitting her that like I have married a bad guy, but like also like she did tell to a therapist that he is a good guy, you know, and like he was like, what do you mean good guy? Like he cheats, he steals, he murders. Like, what is this your definition of a good guy? You know, like I don't know, like in her mind that she's still like enamored with the version of Tony that she fell in love with, you know?
But like it's not just that, it's the man that she knows. And when you know somebody's feelings, emotions, when somebody is vulnerable around you, when you love somebody, you know, when somebody is there with you and your kids, when somebody comes when you give birth, when somebody, like, you know, that person on a different
I mean, and you
level,
want to,
and different
want
version of him. I don't know what to say, because like those are the similar feelings that like I feel towards Tony.
I agree with you. Like, I think things are, like, in a personal relationship with these people, like, they're very complicated. But, like, if you want to look at things black and white, he is a bad person and you should leave him. And, like, that is, like, all there is to it. And, like, is this, again, it's so easy to say, of course, and, like, it doesn't necessarily work this way, but, like, it is what it is. Like, there is no justifying anyone's actions in this show.
Yeah, I'm really wondering what... Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what...
The thing is, like where we came to at the end, like, that made me sad. That was, like, the resolution of it, because, like, she then kind of, let's say, pushed Tony for those 50,000. And, like, it seemed at that point that somehow, like, the way that she was asking him was, like, if he refuses the 50,000, like, then I'm gonna leave or something. But like, if he gives it, then I'm gonna stay. But again, like, this all comes after the talk with the therapist, and like he said that one line that I think was very important for the viewers as well, that like it doesn't then resolve her personal responsibility. He was like, you can't say that no one then told you, because like, he now told you directly. And even before he told you, I believe that you knew. But like, now he has told you directly, your husband is a bad man and you should take your kids and leave and not take anything else from him. And like, he was incredibly direct, and like, I think he was like brutally honest and correct.
Even though I think he was fucking naive at the same time.
I do believe
like
that as well.
Everything that he said.
I do believe that as well.
Sure, you can say that to somebody, but like, again, we're...
like, it's not easy to just like leave your house. Like, how are you gonna...
especially not, because like I'm now watching everything through different eyes, because I personally do not think that like Tony would beat up the pregnant woman to death, but I believe some of them would. And I don't know if you know if you understand what I mean.
It's not easy to leave a mobster. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
like, take your kids where. He can,
but
it doesn't. He can also take his kids.
I agree with you completely there. It's just like, to me, it doesn't seem like Carmela's reluctance about leaving Tony is in fear of her life or her children's life. It doesn't seem like that at all. So like, I'm not thinking about that. I do think, like, I mean, the psychologist doesn't know all of that, and I do think he is maybe being a bit...
No, that's just the thing that I wanted to say. That,
no,
like,
I agree, because like, I do think like...
ridiculous to me. Like, everything he said is correct.
Yes,
Tony is not a good man. Tony is a bad man, you know, and what he's doing is horrible, and that money is blood money, and she should run away if she doesn't want to be an accomplice. Even though she's been an accomplice, whatever, for 20 years. But like, she should do that. I just said it, like, in my opinion, it's very naive.
I mean, again, similar to anything we say, things are easier said than done. Like, there's a lot of things that she needs to, like, think about, financial things, and, like, the kids and everything. Like, there's many things to discuss, but, like, again, the reason why she is not doing it is not because, like, it's not because, like, those things necessarily pose such a big problem, because, like, I do, but, like, it's a problem, you know, like, you have to think about how you're gonna make this move, but she is not doing it because, she's not leaving because, like, she is just afraid of, how do I say it, she doesn't know how to not live this life. And the thing is, I still think that we can come to this point where she does leave him. It's just like that last bit of it, you know, like, her explicitly asking for this money that we have established 3 minutes ago in the psychiatrist's office, that, like, it is blood money and everything. Like, it felt very sad to me. But again, I think it's I love this storyline for her. I think it's such a great storyline that she goes with, like, and, like, this whole show in general just, like, poses a big moral question that, like, I don't necessarily know the answers to. I found it interesting as well that the psychiatrist mentioned there that, like, Tony should read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. There's something very funny to me about, like, thinking about Tony reading Dostoevsky. I don't know, my mind doesn't work, but, like, again, I think the show has mentioned plenty, like, of books and things that, like, you can connect. Like, we have had mentions of Tennessee Williams, I think Kafka as well, and now they've mentioned Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, and I think there has to be, like, similarities in between like, these two worlds, and, like, maybe, like, Tony and what the fuck is his name, Raskolnikov, because, again, a lot of what in general Dostoevsky writes about is, like, morality and, like, objective morality, which, again, I think it's a very interesting subject that, like, can really connect to Tony and, like, his worldview and understanding, again, with him justifying the horrible acts that he commits. I don't know, I just think it's interesting that they mentioned Crime and Punishment. I wish I could connect it better, because, like, it's been 12 years maybe since we read Crime and Punishment. So, like, I should, like, at least reread to see how we can connect this to Tony and, like, his eventual end, because, like, after Raskolnikov, like, killed a person that, like, he felt would bring good to the world, like, the person was, like, bad or whatever, the person that he killed was bad, he felt horrible about it, even though, like, in his mind, like, there was justification for it, it still ate him alive. And for Tony, he goes through something similar. Like, he does a bad thing, then things eat him alive, and then he continues doing these things. For Raskolnikov, he at the end, like, took punishment for the things that he has done, and, like, he felt like he deserved it. For Tony, I don't know what the ending is gonna be. I don't think it's necessarily gonna be that positive. I just think it's gonna be Tony seems like season by season he seems to be getting worse and worse. Like, in this episode, like, we see him going with a bat to Angie's house, you know, like, I can understand, like, why he would be mad, you know, like, in a way she's, let's say, wanting to take money away from him, but again, like, that's so, how funny of you getting mad about that, you know, like, a bit cynical. I mean, everyone in the show is very hypocritical. In that scene, you just, like, see how violent he is. I mean, the fucking episode opened up with him beating the guy in Bada Bing with the fish radio. What the fuck was it? Like, he is progressively getting worse and worse.
I just think that, like, in that scene, I think both scenes were connected very pretty much with Pussy. Yeah. And everything that Pussy did, and at the end that, like, he killed him. Yeah. And Pussy was, in his eyes, his family. And so what is he angry about this moment? Yeah, I mean... Like, is he angry about his actions or Pussy's actions? Yeah. Is he beating up the guy? Like, it reminded him of Fishes immediately, and he went and beat up the guy with the radio. And afterwards, he went to when he talked to Carmela, he started screaming about what Pussy did. Yeah. And to me, that seemed at that moment like the guilt that he feels at the same time. Yeah, I think, maybe like not, that's... But that is how it seemed to me. and he started talking bad about his wife,
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely about guilt. I mean, again, to go back to Crime and Punishment, it is like he, in his worldview, like there was justified reasons for killing Pussy. He has ratted you out. So like the thing that you do with rats is that you send them to fucking die. You send them to sleep with the fishes or whatever. And so like in his mind, there is a justified reason to do this. And then he went and did it, and it is eating him alive.
Yeah, so like that's what I meant. I don't think he's in that moment that angry about Angie talking to Carmela. No. I just think he's angry because he killed his part of his family.
Of course. It's just like, again, his anger issues manifesting in such a way. Like it's not accidental that you see him standing in front of this woman and like he is like 5 times her size, and he's holding a fucking bat. And like there is a dog as well, and like I didn't think that he was gonna harm the dog, but like the what the show wanted to portray was very clear in him like standing in front of the dog that you had, that like they want to make you think like, is he gonna hurt this dog? Like we're at that point of like how violent he is, that like he could hurt the dog, he could like harm this innocent creature. See, like it's not far-fetched.
Those are the things that like I would never say for him, just because like I in my mind have a feeling like he would not never hurt the dog. He would not hurt the dog. He would not hurt a child. He would never hurt anybody who is in his eyes innocent.
Yeah.
So like in that moment, honestly, I was waiting to see that he's not gonna hurt, that he's not gonna touch, that he's gonna pet the dog.
Yeah.
After the anger that he not presented, but like that we've seen in that scene.
Yeah.
I expected him to basically pet the dog and like turn around.
I mean, he did. Again, I just don't know like if this is season 3 and there is 5 or 6. 6. Again, I think we're gonna continue down, and I don't know if in season 6 that he is gonna hurt a dog. I would not put it past the evolution that we're going with. And like I think the show has a very strong message, again, especially after the previous episode that we watched, about how they're bad people. Like it's really not shying away from it. And like you said, like they really, like they sear that in your brain that like anytime I see them,
it's very weird now for me. Yes, first because like I hate every single one of them. And then I think that's why I'm so confused even with this episode, because like if somebody like Carmela knows what they're doing, if she were to know that like they're killing and how they're treating these women, I then cannot comprehend how she sleeps at night. You know what I mean?
I think it can be the same as us, because like we were watching all of them, let's say for 2 seasons, and we were laughing at their dumb jokes and
would you say that you were somehow completely aware?
Well, that's what I mean. I don't think she knows that like one of them has beat a pregnant woman to death, So like the extent of the things that she knows is limited, but like that also brings about, maybe it's worse than you think, maybe it's better than you think, but like she chooses to live in ignorant bliss. Like she knows that it's not clean, good money. Does she know the extent of it? No, she chooses not to know the extent of it so she can still like participate in it.
That is much easier for me to understand.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought that like she knew like the pregnant woman getting beaten up. No. That's what I was referring to when I was saying about like she knows. Like she knows, again, she knows enough that like she holds personal responsibility for not leaving.
Yes.
I mean, I'm very curious where her storyline is gonna go. Again, like in her relationship with Tony, I do believe that she's gonna leave him. Just like at what point? I mean, I did think we were talking about this like at some point, like it was surprising to me that like this episode was even revolving this much around it, because I was like thinking there isn't, like we're not there yet. And it's like I didn't think that like she's gonna leave him now. Like it seems too soon. Like I thought like maybe next season or the last season would be the season where she leaves him. And maybe like that's when we see like a complete, even like a bigger downfall for Tony. And so like I was surprised when this episode started the way that it, but like it just like further like kept her here. I'm very curious to know what happens next with her.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. I cannot even start to suspect neither her storyline nor Tony's storyline where is it going. How Tony would react to something like that. Would he accept the divorce? Would he calmly let his child in this case, because Meadow is living in university, like would he calmly let Carmela take the child? I personally have no idea how Carmela would earn the money. Are we gonna watch that storyline?
I would love that.
Because for me, I somehow always thought that she would leave. But this is the life that she's used to. And like, she's not gonna easily be able... Again, don't know much about her. Honestly, wasn't even sure that she finished university before. You know what I'm going to say? Like, how, like, somehow I thought she is not gonna be able to provide with her child, but she's not the only one who would provide for her child. Like Tony would be legally obligated to help her out with child support. So I always thought she was gonna come back.
Yeah, I get it.
You know,
I get it.
I have no idea if that's where the story. I don't know where.
I don't think she's gonna come back again. Like we talked about this, I think if she leaves, if she makes that decision, I think that's such a big step that like there's no way that she goes back then. You know, like if she is able in her mind to cut it, like to leave, I don't see her coming back.
I'm not sure about that, honestly. That's the thing that like I'm not 100% sure, because I think one thing is deciding and the other thing is
living that
life that like she has never lived, that she has never even tried to live. She probably went from a luxurious or comfortable life to more comfortable life, much more. So I don't even know that if she knows what's on the other side,
or she can step on the other side and even like without money she is free. Like she feels some type of like, again, this like great. this is depending on like where her morality lies, you know, like maybe when she leaves she finally feels that burden off of her, like that need to like choose to shut your eyes to what is happening, to the harm that you're causing to this world, like to the harm that Tony is causing to this world. Again, I don't think it's like accidental that like there's so many references to fucking cancer and cancer spreading, because like that is what you bring to this world. That is what the fucking Soprano family brings to this world. So like if she leaves, like I feel like she would feel some type of like relief and like such a burden lifted that even if she has 0 fucking pennies, that she would still not go back. Or at least that is what I hope for her. So like maybe this is my wishful thinking. At this point I can't figure it out.
Yeah, and maybe this is quite the opposite for me. And when I say like I think, I'm just I'm meaning I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That like she would leave and that is just what it is.
Yeah.
Where her storyline ends, that like she would, because that would be a happy ending if you ask me.
That would be
such a happy ending, and like that is something that like I would really love for her. I just don't know if the show would make a point that is a possibility, which is very you know what I mean?
I agree.
I am just not sure for this show that is something that we're gonna get, even though personally I would adore that.
The thing is, somehow, like for what the show, how the show is, and like everyone wrote for the previous episode about how the creator made this episode to remind everyone that they're the bad guys. To me, it feels like he would not let them off the hook. And so like I feel like the ending for this show would be a just one, let's say, in a way. And I feel like Carmela would leave and everyone else ends up dead. Like I think in the previous episode, I think I was editing that, and I don't know if it was Ralph or it was someone else said some, I think he was even quoting a movie, but like he said something along the lines of like all of you are dead, or like all of us are dead, or something along those lines, that I thought like maybe this is foreshadowing, We saw Pussy in this, not Pussy, sorry, I mean, he's dead. Polly holding the fish. And so I'm thinking maybe you also end up dead. At this point, I kind of feel like everyone might end up dead. And it would feel okay, you know?
Okay.
Like somehow I feel like this show is gonna find justice.
Maybe.
Is gonna seek for justice.
No, I definitely think so as well, but like I don't think everybody gets justice at the same time. I agree. So like I could see somebody ending up in jail, I could see somebody ending up dead, I could see somebody continuing the business. That is something that like I could definitely see as well as an ending. So like I cannot definitely say for certain that everybody would die. But I understand, like I understand that like that is also a possibility. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
I just think honestly, season 3, episode 8 is still at this point for me at least has not crossed my mind to even try to predict where every single character ends up.
True.
Honestly.
True.
So like I'm really wondering.
I don't know. Right now I'm apparently at death for most of them at least. I don't know.
You're very positive.
I maybe I don't know what's happening.
Like what with the AJ?
What do you mean with AJ?
But like how he's gonna end up. Ugh. In school.
No. I think that is gonna be. No, I know.
I hope you know that I was joking.
I know. Because like you said, I'm positive. I'm not that positive. Like I think we are gonna see in the kids. We are gonna see like the influence of living this life, the repercussions of living this life, and like.
I agree.
That is also gonna be on Carmela because like she also like put this kid in the environment next to Tony. You know, like it's on both of them what they have made their kids. I think we're gonna definitely see that. How deep we're gonna see that with AJ, I don't know. Like maybe it does end with like us seeing that he is gonna at some points, you know, take over what Tony was. You know, like him starting out in the mob business or whatever, or like. Any indication that he's gonna go down that path, like that's how the show could end for him, you know.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well for both kids.
Yeah,
I don't know for the
somehow like the cycle continuing.
Cycle continues. Let's say even Jackie's son is gonna continue a cycle. I don't know where Chris is gonna end up. You know, like I have no idea. No.
No, me neither. What I want to say about Chris is that like I don't know at this point. I mean, again, Chris is horrible. Like, I mean, he is the worst. It's just I cannot. Every time he's with Adriana, I want to punch him in the face. So he's horrible. All of this stands. Somehow, like when I see him, like with the rest of them, I have more sympathy towards him because I again, it comes back to the same thing. I think he like craves that family unit from them, and they are. I mean, Tony is treating him in that way. I mean, I also think he is contributing to his downfall. Like he is a horrible influence and everything. But like people like, for example, Paulie, you know, who is, let's say, somewhat of a uncle or whatever to Chris, like someone that I feel like Chris considers them some type of family. They're not your family. They're barely your friends. Like they are awful people, and there's no camaraderie there. Like there is nothing. And so like that makes me feel bad for Chris in those instances. Yeah, at this point I feel more sympathetic to him because he's surrounded by all of them.
I mean, you know? I honestly think for me it would be even enough to feel more sympathy towards him just because he's much younger.
Yeah.
And he just started out in this business, and we see how like I felt sympathy were in the one of the previous episodes, but like Tony said that Jackie's son. I don't know if his name is Jackie Jr. Yeah, Jackie's not for this.
Yeah.
And Chris said, well, I am.
Yeah.
Something like along the lines. So like us seeing him being pushed into this life, and again him being surrounded by these men. And the lives they lead, it just like makes sense that like he's gonna be one of those men, and that like he's gonna punch, slap Adriana, cheat on Adriana, treat probably other women in the same way that like he sees all of them treating them and things like that.
Yeah.
Does all the same things, kill people, like everything.
Yeah.
you know. But again, I do feel more sympathy because he is in a younger stage in his life. He's like, let's say 20 something years old, you know, and it's us seeing him change and become this person.
Yeah, like go deeper into it now.
I mean, I still think he's horrible.
Yeah.
I still dislike him. But I do have...
At this point, like, because, like, there's so many horrible people, like, there is a spectrum of, like, you know, even though, like, he is horrible, he has more my sympathy than others.
Yes, but, like, in this show, sympathy doesn't make me love or like a person. Sympathy does not make me like Tony. We crossed that bridge long time ago. You know, I did like him in season 1 when we found out, and when I started sympathizing with him. But, like, I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I now see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same with Chris as well.
I agree. Characters can have my sympathy, and
with
also
AJ, I do feel sympathy and I feel warmed, but like he is a fucking child.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I agree completely. I think that this is
okay,
enough.
guys.
Thank you so much
for watching. We'll see you very soon. Bye.